Hello students, welcome to my channel Learn Infinity. I hope all of you are very well, you are staying safe, you are staying at your home. So today I am going to discuss about class 6 history portion, the civilization named Vedic civilization. Okay, so today's topic is Vedic civilization. First of all, already we have learned about the how the evolution happened from the early man to the modern man, right? So, early men lived in nomadic way. They were moving from one place to another place. They are searching their food, their shelter, everything. They are just moving from one place to another place. Later on, in Old Stone Age, when they discovered fire, and after that, in New Stone Age, when they invented the wheels, then the modernization started at that moment, right? So what happened? After discovering fire and the invention of wheel, make a huge progress to the early man's life. Now they already learned that how to live in a community living way, means to live in a group, because if we stand together it is more stronger, right? So the people also understood that if we stood together, if we live together in a group, then they can easily do whatever they want, and also they can protect themselves. They keep themselves protected from the wild animals, right? So from this way, one by one, they learned how to live in a civilized way. So the civilization started. After in the civilization, then day by day, when the people more modernized, they learned so many things, they are moving here and there, day by day they improved their lifestyle. Comes to the Vedic civilization. Now, when the Vedic civilization started, that is the most important thing we have to know about that. So, after the declining of Indus Valley civilization around 1500 BCE, Vedic civilization started. So, what you have to remember, dear? You have to remember that just after the Indus Valley civilization, when it's already over, then the new civilization started nearly 1500 BCE. What is the BCE? Before Christ era. It means when the Jesus Christ was born, before the time this Vedic civilization 1500 BCE it started. And how much time it lasts for? It lasts for nearly 500 BC. How much? 500 BC. Okay, so this was the time span around the Vedic civilization. Now, whom we called, where they lived before this 1500 BCE, where they lived, from where they came, we should know about that, right? So, I'm just showing you a map. I hope all of you have already read in geography, the India's map, when they came to India. See, they started their journey from Pakistan, right? Now, it is in Pakistan. So, at that time, Pakistan and India, it was with together, only one country it was. You know that in 1947, when the Britishers gone to England back, at that time, India got independence and Pakistan and India divided, right? So, when we are talking about the 1500 BCE, this time period, right? In this time period, Pakistan and India was only one country. And the Vedic people at this time, they came from this Pakistan and they started living first in Punjab. Where Punjab is, you know, just below the Himachal Pradesh, to the west of India, right? To the northwest part, Punjab is there. So first they came to Punjab, and after that they are just finding the shelter, finding the river valley, because you know, beside the river valley, beside the bank of the rivers, agriculture can happen very huge amount. So they started living in Punjab and then they spread all over the India. Okay, So this was the coming way to India. Now their original home. We have to know about the original home of the Vedic people. Vedic people belong to Nordic race, whereas Aryans is a linguistic term that refers to speaker of Indo-European languages. Now, as I am taking the class, so I am speaking in English. So, everyone is having their own mother tongue, own language. Without language, we can't communicate with each other, right? So, Vedic people, the name of the Vedic people was Aryans. What was the name? We have to remember the name Aryans, right? So, it is actually a linguistic term, means language term. It actually defines that the speaker who are speaking in Indo-European languages. Okay, Indo-European languages means India and the Europe both together. Okay, now what is the meaning of Aryan? The meaning of Aryan is man of high birth. Man of high birth. Aryans were a semi-nomadic pastoral tribe that had settled in Eurasia until 2000 BC. Now, why I am calling it Eurasia? Because Europe and Asia at that time, the continent was together. Okay, it was the tectonic plates which is having in Asia and Europe, it was together. And the Aryans were settled there as a semi-nomadic. Semi-nomadic means now they have already learned to live on a particular place, to live for a long time. They are now not moving here and there. They already learned how to do the agriculture. They already learned that how to do educated, how to live their life in a very civilized way, very organized way. So they lived their life as a semi-nomadic life, tribe people. Between 1500 BCE and 1000 BCE, Aryans got settled in Shopto-Shindhava, or the land of seven rivers that I just told you. Which one is the seven river state? That is in our country, Punjab, right? So, just in Saptasindhu, this area, these Aryans started to live. In which time span? Between 1500 BCE and 1000 BCE. Okay? These timing period, they lived in Saptasindhu. Now, which are that seven rivers that I told just? It was the Indus River and its tributaries like Ravi, Beas, Chenab, Jhelum, Satluj and river Saraswati. Okay? So, how could we know that from here? You know, from the books, various sources are there. From the various sources, we get to know that the Aryans got settled in Saptasindhu, or the land of seven sisters, that is the Punjab, right? Now, you may ask that, ma'am, Saraswati river is no more. So, how the Saraswati? Saraswati river, it is believed that it is flowing under the earth. Okay, it is flowing under the earth. Now, Aryans had migrated to Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent means, I have told you that first they settled down in Punjab, and after that, first they settled down in Punjab, and after that they migrated the other places of India, right? Now, what is this Indian subcontinent? You know, from Himalaya, this Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh, to the east part, it is actually a huge landmass. It stretches over 2,400 kilometers from north to east. And here only the landmasses we can see, no water body, right? This huge landmass is called, it actually creates a distinctive land. A huge land is called Indian subcontinent. You can see here there are the places name given, that where the Aryans started to live, where they migrated all over the India. So basically they lived in from northwest to the northeast portion of India, right? This was their home. According to Max Muller, Aryans' original home was in Central Asia. You know, India is a country in Asia continent, right? So actually, according to Max Muller, who was an anthropologist, Max Muller told that Aryans came, actually their original home was in Central Asia. Okay. Now from where we are getting the informations about the Vedic civilizations, how their lifestyle was, how they lived, which type of food they are eating, even their clothes, their lifestyle, everything from where we are getting, right? So we have to know. Okay, so from where the sources, from which sources we get to know about the Vedic civilization? Actually, at that time, the people of Vedic civilizations, they were really well educated. They have written so many literatures. They are known as Vedic literature. So, we are getting the informations about Vedic civilizations from Vedic literature, Rig Ved, Samved, Yajur Ved, Atharva Ved. These are the 4 Vedas that was written on that period, Vedic period. Okay, this was the literature. And also we got to know some informations about the Vedic civilizations from the 2 epics. I hope all of you have heard the name Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? These 2 epics also describes about so many informations about this civilization. And also there were some Upanishads, means some story books like that. Okay, from the Upanishads also we can get to know about the Vedic civilization. Now you know that the word Vedic civilization, from where the word came Ved, right? I told you about the literature name also. Now the word Veda is derived from the root word Vid, V-I-D, Vid, which means to know, means knowledge, right? Indo-Aryans are believed to be the composers of Vedic texts, that means knowledge. So whenever we are learning so many informations, we are telling that yes, I know about it. So know, K-N-O-W, know, means to know something, the knowledge, right? Now we have to learn about the groups. According to the time span of the Vedic civilization, it is divided into 2 ages or 2 periods, right? Early Vedic period and later Vedic period. Now, in particular, which time the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period happened? Let us definitely know, and from where we are getting to know that Vedas, Vedic literature, that is also different. Okay, so early Vedic period is actually started from 1500 BCE and 2000 BCE. So the time span of early Vedic period is 1500 BCE to 1000 BCE. Okay, in this time, in early Vedic period, only one literature composed. Which literature composed? Rig Veda. Which literature? Rig Veda. Okay, now we have to know more about the Rig Veda. What is it? It is a collection of 1028 hymns. 1028 hymns. What is hymns? In Bengali, we are telling Stuti Bakko, or the slokas, slok. In Sanskrit also we are calling slok. At that time, in Vedic period, actually at that time the people didn't know about English. This Aryan people, I'm talking about the Aryan people, they didn't know English. They didn't know about the Bengali. So they always using the Sanskrit word. You know, the Sanskrit language is the most earliest language in the world. So these Rig Veda was written in Sanskrit, and there was 1028 hymns, right? These 1028 hymns is divided into 10 mandals. How many mandals? 10 mandals, right? Now, the first mandals from 2 to 7, these are called family book. What it is called? It is called family book. You can easily understand that family book means it is discussing about the family, the Aryans family, right? How many people are living there, how their lifestyle was there, how the family behaves with each other. So, all the things about the family we can get to know from these 2 to 7 mandals. Okay. Now comes to the mandal 8. Which things described in this mandal? Mandal 8 is mostly related with Kanva family. There was a various tribes, right? I have told you the different tribes were there. So this Kanva family, about the Kanva family informations we get to know from Mandal 8, right? Mandal 9, compilation of Soma hymns. Soma hymns means it is another stuti or another slokas. It is discussing about the Somas. Okay. Now only two left, Mandal 1 and Mandal 10. Mandal 1 and Mandal 10 are later addition. Okay. It is actually explains about 4 Varnas in their social life, how the people behaved and how they were treated from the another people. It is explained in these Mandal 1 and Mandal 10 about the Varnas. 4 Varnas were there. And this time one Upaveda was there, that is Ayurveda. Okay, the people. Upaved means on which we are depending. We know that sometimes diseases are happening, we are feeling sick, we are not feeling well. So that time no medicines were available because it is near around 1500 BCE. So that time the people were totally dependent on Ayurveda. Okay. Now at that time the caste system was really in a huge level. Caste system, the Brahmana. 2 types of Brahmana was belonging at the early Vedic period, Rig Vedic period. Okay. Atreyi and Kaustiki. Atreyi and Kaustiki. These 2 types of Brahmins are living together at that Rig Vedic period. So only Rig Veda was composed in early Vedic period. Okay. We could get to know about the early Vedic period from Rig Veda only. Now comes to the later Vedic period. Later Vedic period, when it starts? It is actually started from 1000 BCE to 500 BCE. 1000 before Christ era to 500 before Christ era. This timing is actually known as the later Vedic period. This time the other 3 Vedas has been composed. Okay. Samveda. I have told you Samveda. What is it? It is a book of chants. Chants means we are worshipping the gods, right? Whenever we are worshipping the gods, we are using some mantras, we are chanting some mantras, right? So these Samveda is actually a book of chants. Okay. And these chants are written in a verse form. Verse form means poetry form, in a poem form. Okay. It's arranged in poetry form. And how many chants are there? Collection of 1810 melodies contains the famous Dhrupad Raga. There was a book's name in Samveda. It was named as Dhrupad Raga. In this Dhrupad Raga, 1810 melodies were there. 1810 chants were there. Okay. And this time, which is the Veda? It is Gandharva Veda. Okay. And Brahmana, which kind of Brahmana belongs to this period? Jaminiya, Chandogya. Okay. These 2 types of Brahmana people belonging to this Samveda period. Now comes to the next Vedic literature. Next Vedic literature is Yajur Veda. Okay. Once again, Yajur Veda. So what it is? It is a book of sacrificial prayers. You know, in our life, there are so many situations happen that we have to sacrifice so many things, our desires, our dreams for the betterment, right? So this Yajur Veda is actually a book of sacrificial prayers. It deals with the producer for the performance of sacrifices. The people, how they sacrificed their life for their family's betterment. Okay, how they sacrificed their demands, their desires, their dreams only for the sake of their family members. Okay, these things, why they have sacrificed, how they have sacrificed, and what is the reason behind it. So all these things, information is written in Yajur Veda. It is divided into Shukla Yajur Veda, that means white Yajurved, or Vajasanya. Okay, means it divided into two parts. One is Shukla Yajurved or the white Yajurved. Okay, the color. It contains only mantras. Okay, only the mantras has written in this literature. And the another part of Yajurveda is Krishna Yajurveda. That means black Yajurveda. It contains both the mantras and the prose explanations. All of you have heard about the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, right? It is a holy book for the Hindu people, the Hinduism. So how it's written? The which is that God, about the God we are reading about in this book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita? We are reading about Lord Krishna, right? You can easily understand that Krishna Yajurveda or the black Yajurveda. What is the body color of Krishna, Lord Krishna? It is black. So you can easily remember these two terms, and it is explained in both mantras also and prose explanation also, right? It is written in Yajurveda. Now comes to which is the Upaved this time? Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda was the Upaved in this time. Okay. Now the Brahmanas, which kind of Brahmanas were there? The Brahmanas were there Taittiriya, Maitrani and Satopat. Satopat. Satopat means the way of truthfulness. Have you ever listened that Lord Krishna is telling so many lies? No, he is not favor the lies, right? So Satopat means, path means the way and Sato means honesty. The way of honesty or the way of truthfulness. Okay? It was believed that in this period, Yajurveda, the Brahmana was telling the truth so that the others people, all the people who are belonging to this period, they believed they were worshipping the Brahmanas as the goddess or the god. Okay? They respect a lot to the Brahmana people. Now come to the last Veda, that is the Atharva Veda. It is a last literature, Vedic literature. Now which things is included in this literature? It is a collection of songs, spells and magical charms to control and ward off the demons and evil spirits. This is actually a collection of magical spells and charms. This time the people believed that there was some spiritual magic happens. The magical spirits were there. The people believed about the black magic also. Okay, so this time they believed in evil spirits and diseases. At that time, if someone is feeling sick, if he is not well in his health, it was believed that he was under some black magic. The black magic is someone has created some black magic and he is under control of it. Okay. So at this time, this Atharva Veda, it actually explains about that black magic, the charms and the evil spirits. You know evil spirits means the demon spirits, the Satan, right? We have already heard about these things. So it was believed in that demons, the evils. It is divided into 20 khandas and 711 hymns. Okay? It is the last Veda and considered a non-Arya work. What does it mean, non-Arya work? Actually, the people proved that the work or this Ved was actually not composed by the Aryan people. It was composed by the latter Aryans people. Okay. And this time, what was the Veda? Silpa Veda. This time the people learned so many things about the Silpkala, art. And the Brahmana was Gopatha. This was the Brahman. So, thus the Vedas together with the Brahmanas, epics, Upanishads, Puranas collectively form Vedic literature. Okay? We are not only getting the informations from only these Vedas, 4 Vedas. We are getting the knowledge, we are getting the information from also the Brahman people also. The epics, Upanishads, Puranas, this kind of story also giving us so many informations about the Vedic civilization. So today we just learned that from where the Vedic civilization started, how much time it lasts for, and which states they started their journey in India, and after that how they migrated from another states in India, and from where we are getting the informations about the Vedic civilization. Okay, the sources also we have done today. So it's your homework. You have to tell me if more informations you will get about the Aryan people. Definitely you mention in the comment section, and wait for the next video. Definitely I will continue with this Vedic civilization. We will know about more things. So to get the more videos, what you have to do, you have to subscribe my channel Learn Infinity, and also if you like the video, then you just give a like, share and must comment. Thank you all.